talked about the IDO prop,
Yep.
and they were like, "Oh, we're absolutely against this." And what are you guys doing? Oh, I'm gonna reach out to both of them and just say, "Hey, wasn't there?"
My parents' 65th wedding that day. I wanted to be there really bad. What I heard was they addressed
attendance.
roads and the IDL swap. That was basically.
I heard the same thing.
So your first name was Danielle, is that correct? Come on up to the mic, please say your name for the record. So we know who you are,
Oh,
and
excuse me, I'll be right back.
welcome.
Thank you. My name's Danielle Mockowitz, for the record.
Moffis,
Mockowitz. You guys sent me a letter
okay.
containing to. Have you been seeing this letter?
Don't know a thing about anything.
How about you? You okay? Am I 2 minutes or what is this?
We'll go until it gets obstreperous, and then we'll shut it down. How about
Okay.
5 minutes? We'll give you 5 minutes.
Okay. So I've been watching the last 6 hours of commissional meetings. I'm sorry you didn't want to show up to the July 4th parade because you didn't want to deal with the people. Maybe the $4,000 used for 911 dispatch fees should be used to make the people in the county feel more comfortable. I know I can't even cross that road when I'm going from Swinlepsons to da-da-da. So here I am. I got a letter from you guys. This letter is big to me. I called and I said, "What's up with trailers?" I called her. "What's up with trailers?" They have no viewable, gray water things. There's dead trees, big trees that were not dead 3 years ago. And it's right on top of the pipeline, the 16-foot pipeline that goes underneath the county into the lake. Okay, then my neighbors put their boat there. I'm sure they don't get it inspected, Okay, here we go. They're parking on my land. They're using 5 of my lots. I called to complain. She told me not her problem. Okay, not her problem. I said there's setbacks. The guy who works with my sister and delivering babies on a daily notice used to own the cabin. Okay, I know exactly how many letters he's gotten and how many letters other people have gotten when they put a shed too close to the road. They have to move it. Okay, so I called and I was like, "Why is all this close to the road? Why am I looking at an RV for 3 years?" She said, "Call District Health." I did. Okay, and I've done this before. I had to get my own septic in the ground. Right now, I am getting a septic in it's pre-approved. And this is the one that really got me this morning. On the county assessor's map, in less than 10 days, this road that the guy that used to do lot lines, who's now retired, I don't think he should get his retirement anymore, his dad is on my property. I called them in for squatting. They've been called in for squatting before. The sheriffs did not come. Nope, nope, and nope. I got told that my dogs are not even allowed to make a barking sound from, say, 9 o'clock to 10, ha, ha, ha. Okay, I've got
I'm
recordings.
confused on what are you addressing?
I am addressing the letter that you guys sent me, and I've got a city official. Okay,
Or what
my
is
2
the
minutes.
letter? What is the letter reference?
Well, my city official who lives next to me said that I have 10 to 12 dogs. My other city, and
is this within the
this was
city, or is
after I
this
called
within the
her and I
county?
told her there's a trailer with a holding tank in the ground that's not legal.
Is this within the city or
No,
within the county?
Valley County.
Okay.
So I told her that these people have squatted on my land and other land, and they told me to go away. Okay? This is single property residential area. It is right below a well. They have a holding tank that's against the law. I've been told in the past I got to get a septic tank. I've got to get permits for my chimneys. They have a shed there with a chimney with an unpermitted chimney, really close to the ground. They have their water's going into my future water well land. Okay, out there you got to buy about an acre to space it out. I have 7 lots. This is addressing, ma'am, that I got told that everybody in Valley County who has more than 3 dogs must get a conditional use permit or spend $1,000 a day working it out with her or 2 months in jail. I have a county official who abused her right, called in, still has not gotten a conditional use report for having her trailer for over 3 years. Not within setbacks, illegal dumping. Okay, now, as I said, one of my big concerns was she hung up on me today. She asked me if I know her son. Because I'm supposed to be, and I also got told by the sheriffs it doesn't matter who you know in this county. Well, I own 7 lots and I believe that I'm allowed more than 3 dogs. Now, there is a statute that says, as of July 1st, I am entitled to a kennel license or a dog registration. Instead of spending $15,000 of taxpayers' money giving to McPaws, okay, and then you guys raise their property values, maybe you should do what the law says and you give every dog a registration, including me. If I got more than 3 dogs, then I buy my kennel license. You set that fee for the whole county. Okay, now you have $30,000 at 25 dogs, or 25, how many, 3,000 people out of city limits. I was basically told if I moved in city limits, I would be allowed more than 3 dogs. I called Doug. Everybody keeps referring me to Doug. She refers me to the sheriff about lot lines. I am told I gotta put up no trespassing signs. Did you know me and you are neighbors? Your property is right next to mine. You guys have that building out there on Waterworks that is unfenced. A lot of people use that property. I don't like that the city could be sued any moment by any of those people. I have over 15 different videos of other dogs making noises and all being unleashed. The city official that told on me for having 10 dogs, her dog comes over on my property every day. I have videos of that. Okay, so I was on one of my lower lots today, getting barked at by my squatters who have been turned into the cops by 4 or 5 people and not even had a conditional use permit given to them. Now here I am getting the conditional use permit myself. $1,000 a day fine. Okay, 2 months in jail. I called the sheriff. I finally got a sheriff that said this is civil. Okay, a prosecuting attorney that does misdemeanors and criminal crimes. I have been harassed in the past. I have sat 2 months in jail here for what was a sting. My husband has got a dog at large ticket before and sat in jail for 3 days. I've got 15 dogs, dogging at large. You guys are saying you don't have money to fund a shelter, but you'd rather raise the tax enough where we don't have a shelter here. I'm supposed to have McPaws here. I'm supposed to have all these people here because the money rightfully goes to them and they don't need to beg the city for $15,000 a year or tax exemptions. They should be given, all 3,000 people, out of city limits. And I wonder where all the money in city limits is going. And there should be, instead of $4,500 chairs, 2 of them, and $400,000 used of sheriff's 911 dispatch when I've called the sheriff 4 times and not one sheriff showed up. Not one sheriff showed up to count my dogs on an acclaimed thing from 2 city officials using their powers against me. I hope you know that I have been very harassed in this county before, and this is not good. And now I want you guys to do what you're supposed to. Oh, big thing. In the last 10 days, whoever is at the county's assessor office has added a road that, I'll say, if I can say names, my neighbors who used to do all the lot lines, who is using 5 of my 7 properties. I was told I cannot live on my own property if I have more than 3 dogs. Okay, they have added a road right here. I called this morning. I got hung up on her when she didn't want this. She didn't want me coming today. Nobody wanted me coming today, but they sure did want $1,000 a day and think I'm a business. I have 5 different rentals in front of my property. Not one person asked me if I want an Airbnb there. I don't know if these are rapers in front of my 6 kids.
Oh, Danielle, show me where your properties are.
Can I come up?
I'm looking at our county plat map.
Okay, I'm gonna, and this was supposed to be in the paper that you guys were supposed to, throughout the county, any county, every county in Idaho, offer a kennel license or AKA a dog license tag. This is my conditional use report. They want to come and kill weeds. Big thing, when you guys kill weeds on my property without permission, I wish you'd come and pick up the dryness. But, so they want this, they want a conditional use report, which is what Heather still needs to be given in order to keep her property there peeing on the 16-foot pipeline. And she needs to have permission, just like everybody else.
I really want you to focus on what it is that you're responsible
Well, I
or
told
what.
planning and zoning today that they need to take off that imaginary,
Can I see your letter that you,
they need to take off that imaginary road that they just added that Joe and Heather are driving on daily. They threw my rocks off and told me to get off of my own property.
Okay, I'm sorry, hold on. Calm down for a minute. So they can't just add a road. I mean, it's on our platted.
Do you see this?
It's on our platted.
They added it in the last 10 days. Here is the real plot. Here is it. I've had it surveyed.
Can I see that a little
But
closer?
because they've been driving on it and I haven't said anything for 3 years, and then the last 10 days, and I check it because this property transferred from my mom to me, and I have a septic approved under my mom's name, and I don't want Joe driving on it. So I got told
So-
that all I can do is put up no trespassing signs, and then all of a sudden, this is on there. So if Joe looks that up, it's not there. Now, if
Okay,
you
but
click on
hold on,
Ellen's
hold on, hold
subdivision,
on,
you
hold
get
on,
that.
just a second, hold on. On our plat,
Mhm.
which has been in place, it is on there. It looks exactly the same.
It's not on there, though. That's not a real road.
That's a whole separate issue.
What is that
That-
It
issue?
might not be a road, it's probably just an easement.
It's not an easement, sir.
But it says easement
I-
here.
you-
The road may have never been.
No, right
That's
done.
here,
okay,
right
okay,
here.
hold on. We're dealing with a
This
letter.
is what I own. I own this, this, this. I own this, 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 and I own this. Joe owns this, this, and this. They're on my property here. They have their flag and political signs here. They drive here. They've made turnarounds here, turnarounds here. They are driving on a road here
Okay,
that doesn't exist.
so we are addressing a letter. That's the only thing that Valley County can help you with today.
Do you understand? I know, but I'm being harassed by my neighbors, and they've
Okay,
added.
and that is a legal issue that's outside of our purview.
Yeah, and they keep telling me to call the sheriff, and the sheriff never shows up because
So I would contact an attorney.
I have. I want to. The attorney said they were going to talk to you because this is totally against the law. And they had. She told me she didn't want me to show up, and there's a couple other ways to deal with this. Well, it shouldn't be by embarrassing me.
Sure. So we are here to listen.
So I
And
have to
that's-
get a septic tank right here.
Okay,
It's
but that's not
pre-approved.
anything that we are addressing today.
Heather's the one that told on you.
Heather doesn't have anything to do with this council.
She has
at all.
somebody who has
Heather
the
is-
conditional report, and she still hasn't turned
Okay.
in the conditional report to the person. Instead of doing her job, she sent me a conditional report and is not doing her job still. So they finally sent out a letter, but
Okay, we will ask her.
I need
You
a
know,
conditional
what the-
report. And
what-
then being that I own 5 of the lots and they've already trashed them, I'm not gonna let somebody live there all year long unless they get a
Okay.
septic, and it's too
Again.
small for a septic.
Again, that's not what we're addressing
Okay.
today. We're
Yes, I
addressing
would like
This
to.
letter.
Okay.
So let's take a look at it. If you want to stand back,
Well,
just,
I wanna read my notes real fast on the back so I can stay focused. I had 7 lots, 6 kids. I was told before I show up, because I have so many kids, this will probably be dropped. What I'd like to do is have an actual dog license for everybody in Valley County so that money could either be used for a dog kennel up on the city lot up there.
that's a whole separate issue than today.
Why?
So let's help deal with you and your letter.
The letter
And
is,
then-
this is my statute of, okay, I'll give it to you just a second. Okay, so I've talked to Lori, I had to get to 5 different people to get her to respond to me. And none of the 3 sheriffs showed up. One finally called me and said, "This is civil. I've got 6 kids home to take care of. I don't need a threatening note that the cops are gonna come get me." So luckily, one sheriff called me back and said, literal, okay, the other ones didn't show up over people squatting on my property and driving on my property. So literal called me and said that they aren't gonna come get me, that this is civil. But she told me they're gonna throw me in jail. And that they are gonna find me.
Let me see the letter.
Okay, and then here's the statute.
Okay, I want the letter.
Yes. And here's the imaginary road that wasn't there, and I have pictures from over like 2 months
Okay,
ago where
I
that
don't want to
wasn't
deal
there
with
though.
that. I don't want to deal with that.
Okay, well, I
This
just
is
don't
what
have
we're
a bunch of
dealing
time.
with today.
Daniel, can I ask you, how come you have so many dogs?
I have a lot of kids. It's not really,
But that doesn't relate
it
to
doesn't
dogs.
matter in the county unless you're asking everybody. And for me to be singled out, which we all know this is not the first time that I've been singled out as a person that's a pushover.
I don't know you. I mean, I'm
don't
sorry.
know you at
So
all.
They did a sting on me and put me in jail for 2 months for giving a kid alcohol. I didn't even know what a case of beer was. Kids
But you
give me
haven't-
$10
You haven't answered my question. Why do you own so many dogs?
because it's my right as a citizen.
Aren't they kind of,
According to the statute, I'm legally in Idaho allowed 15 dogs.
aren't they kind of expensive to feed?
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
My husband made $60,000 last year working for the Pelican Brewery, where the sun falls on the most beautiful rock, and they bring in $45,000 a year. So why would expensive to feed matter? That's exactly why you need a shelter, is because you guys with your micro laws, and you give all that money, the $400,000 away for sheriff's furniture, you guys aren't gonna be able to police all these little micro laws, because I've called the sheriffs 3 times this week to have somebody come and get Heather to stop throwing rocks off of my property.
Okay, again, we're dealing with this issue.
Dead
Okay,
trees.
the rest of it, I don't care about, and
Okay, I'll
we're
come
not
back
going
for
to
it
be
then.
dealing. That's great. You can come back and
So
deal
I
with
need a
that.
kennel license.
Today, yes. If,
And, or
I-
everybody in the county, needs to be offered a conditional use report for more than 3 dogs.
so that would be something that you can request we look at to change our ordinance. I can probably,
Well, you
I
guys are
would not-
requesting it.
I would not be in favor of changing that ordinance because it is detrimental to your neighbors when you have that many
I have
animals
7
on
lots,
site.
2 acres, and I have everybody else's
You
dogs
have
on.
one home, and I would really like you to step back a little bit.
Everybody else has their dogs. Don't forget, I have 15 videos of everybody else's dogs on my property in the last 2 days.
Okay. Is there a leash law in your subdivision?
There's obviously more laws than I can imagine. They could make roads and. This is from 1952 and it hasn't changed, so I don't know. They're gonna change that. They told me too, that shouldn't be there on this. I've had the land surveyed.
So Danielle, can I ask you why you just get a conditional use permit?
Say what?
Why don't you get a conditional use permit?
I don't need a conditional use permit to have 7 dogs, and if I do, I've got over 1,000 people in this county that have to get it too.
Perhaps you're not the only one that got this letter.
No, I'm not. And oh, by the way, so when Heather got the letter, thinking that her parents came over to my house and they said that I put out a nasty letter to them. Everybody in the county got this nasty letter. She told me I sent a nasty letter, and that's when Heather called for my 10 dogs. I don't have 10 dogs. Nobody knows I have 10 dogs, 3 dogs, 5 dogs. I have Oregon plates still. Heather told me she hopes I enjoy my short visit. The sheriffs won't come out. You guys own city property right there too.
It's not city, it's county property. What do you want us to do?
So the city. owns
Obviously, I'm
property that the
appealing
county
your
does not.
thing, and I want you guys to go ahead instead of taking property taxes to fund McPaws or whoever. I'd like for you guys to do a normal dog licensing like everybody else in America.
So
America right now
when
is
you
not
moved
importing
into-
any
when you
dogs
moved
because of
into-
rabies.
When you moved into our county, you accept the ordinance of our county.
22 years ago.
Okay, and the ordinance of the county was set, and everybody abides by that.
Okay,
Now,
so
if
let's
there
do
i-
it.
So if there is an enforcement.
So she told me if I moved
issue-
into the city, I can buy a kennel license.
If there is an issue with our ordinance, then we do have some enforcement mechanisms that we can take care of.
Well, we need to do it. I don't want a kennel license, but I want to register my dog. And I want everybody else in Valley County to register their dog. And I want other people that visit to get these dog at large tickets, just like my husband got. I want the same treatment. I don't think that because I can't have fire insurance, because I'm in a Forest Service, that when 900 people drive by my road and the county wants to make money off them, and they all have more than 3 dogs, I don't see how you're singling me out. Besides that my neighbor abused her rights as the treasurer and telling on me, yet she uses 5 of my lots.
You have no trespassing signs up on your lot?
I'm gonna have to put them up, but now there's this county road, which is actually what I'm gonna talk about again. That just showed up on this plot less than 10 days ago. I don't know who's playing buttons, but I have proof of over 10 days ago that was not on there.
That's a whole separate issue than what we're dealing with
Okay.
today. So if there is an ordinance that you need a kennel license over 3 dogs.
You don't offer a kennel
that-
license, ma'am.
That is the path that you need to take.
You don't offer a kennel license. I'm wanting you to
So
offer me a
over-
kennel license and
No.
everybody else in the county.
So over 3 dogs, then you got to do a conditional use permit, I'm assuming.
No, that's not actually the state statute and law.
You're living in Valley County. Valley County has our own statutes, our own ordinances.
Okay, at this time, I'm gonna ask you to sit down and let Cinda speak and tell us kind of what's going on here, please. Cinda?
Planning and zoning sent Heather Solberg a notice that they needed an RVC permit. Her response back to me,
What's an RVC permit?
Please, don't interrupt.
that they don't have more than 1 RV and that her neighbor has 10 to 12 dogs. So I sent that letter to Mockwitz and you read it. giving her the three things she can do. She
So I
can apply for the
Please.
conditional use permit. She can appeal my decision to the Planning and Zoning Commission. This is stepping out of the Planning and Zoning Commission realm. Or she can ask for a settlement conference. And that would be with the deputy prosecuting attorney and myself. And that's
So
kind of how it is.
the original person that got the park or the RV permit, you're still enforcing that on that person?
She said that she only has one RV. The other RV was being loaded at that time when Lori took all the pictures and went down to Boise. They expect that that RV will come back here. They will unload it and take it back to storage. However, the building department is also involved in this issue because there are some illegal structures in the area. So she is sending notices to all persons involved.
And I take it, Cindy, this is over in West Mountain
Yes,
by the look of the lots?
right by water line. That's why there's a City of Cascade lot there.
Gotcha. Danielle, do you understand all this?
So I might be able,
I know
If
she's
you
ready
read-
to work with
what?
nothing.
I've been trying to work with her.
She has not called me back,
And-
neither the commissioners or the senators or
Please
anybody.
let her finish.
And if you read the definition of kennel, and this is the settlement conference portion, I had no clue how many dogs she had until today. She has 7, I guess.
You don't know how
And-
many I have still.
I still don't know how many dogs she has. But the definition of kennel is enclosure for commercial or private boarding or breeding or more than 3 dogs. I would have been, I probably would have tried to settle this in a settlement conference with Oki. Because 1 dog for each kid. I've heard there are small dogs. I don't know. Same conversation you've had is the same conversation I've had, the same conversation Doug's had, the same conversation June has had, and Annette. So do you have any questions on the enforcement?
How much is the permit for a kennel?
It doesn't exist. Valley
I
County
can-
does not offer it. I was told
Please,
to do it in city.
Danielle, please, this is gonna end if you don't keep quiet. I'm asking Cindy, how much is the permit
For
for
a
a kennel?
conditional use permit application, it would be $300.
And Danielle, are you willing to do
No,
that?
I'm not. I'm willing for you guys to do the statute 2528 and offer everybody in this county as of July 1st.
That's not available.
Everybody in Idaho, any county, anytime it's supposed to be in the paper, should be offered a registered dog tag in order to fund shelters and in order to check and verify rabies tags. All these dogs were brought from 6 weeks old to Keith. They've all had their shots. Keith has seen them all.
But you're not willing to spend
I'm not willing to
$300
get rid of
for,
my dogs. All my dogs live
well,
in my
nobody's
house.
asking you to get rid of your dogs.
That's what
I'm
willing
asking
to
you,
do.
are you willing to spend $300 for a permit?
I don't want to have obnoxious weed people on my property.
We're not talking about
That's what
noxious
this,
weed.
this permit says. If you want to offer me.
Danielle,
one and
you're
only-
way off. No, we're dealing with one issue.
This is
that's it.
conditional use permit.
No,
We're
we're dealing with the dog issue. Today. That's
If
it.
you offer me what's called a dog kennel license, I'll buy it. But if you make me do a conditional use permit, I want everybody else to do it in the county. And I've got lots of names. McGregor's has more than 3 dogs. I can name names all day long of who has more than 3 dogs.
Give Cindy a list.
I'm not here to
Okay.
micro-fleece people.
The only issue we're dealing with is your
Yes, I obviously want this
your
dropped.
next step. That's not going to happen.
Probably the best
So-
next step would be a settlement conference of some sort. Do you agree with that?
Would be my recommendation.
So will you be, Danielle, will you be willing to come in and meet with Cinda and Brian Oki and a settlement conference to talk about this?
Well, Heather told me she hopes I enjoy my short visit, so what if I just move out of
This
the
has nothing to
county?
do with Heather. This
What
is
if I
a,
just move out of the county, which is what you guys want?
We don't want you to move out of the county. I don't know you. I don't know anything about the situation. We're trying to help you solve the issue at hand.
and if
if you're not-
everybody in this valley had 7 dogs apiece, it would be a frickin' zoo.
No, it would be $25 per
No,
going toward, this is what, can you read the
It
statute that I
doesn't,
gave
no,
you?
that doesn't apply to this situation at all.
Well, what's
So
wrong
we're
with what I showed
offering
you?
we offered you 3 choices. You can take one of those 3
What are they
choices or
again?
we're done. A settlement conference a conditional use permit, which is the $300 fee, or appeal Cinda's decision to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
So is this settlement conference when my attorney shows up?
Sure.
Or what is this about? I just don't know why you guys are singling me out.
We're not
I called
singling
the
you
call
out.
and I asked if I can buy a kennel license. I can if
We're
I'm in the
not-
city limit. I
We're
called
not
this county.
singling, okay, we're done with the rest of the conversation. You have 3 options.
Ma'am, right here on this statute,
Okay, I think we need to just.
25
We're done.
Animals Code 28, I am entitled
Not in
to
Valley
a
County.
dog kennel license and to register my dogs.
Not in Valley County.
Yes, right
We're
here,
done.
read it, sir.
I think we're done.
Okay, this hearing is over, Doug.
So that's Title 25 Animals,
10
Chapter
minutes after
28,
4.
Code 25-28.
Danielle, you go home and you figure out what you want to do, but I would suggest you do something
I don't
right
want
away.
you guys to, she threatened me to take my 6
She
kids
did not
away
threaten
and
you.
me go to jail, and I have a $1,000 fine, so you guys decide what you're gonna do with me.
You need to come in and sit down with these 2 folks and work this out.
You haven't gotten a fine yet. I mean, that's one of the things you gotta understand is you haven't been fined.
Well,
You've
neither is
been
Heather.
threatened with some sort of punitive action, and so we've given you a couple of different alternatives to avoid that.
Well, the thing is, it's
Are
why
you
when
going to
I
work
call
with,
about an
wait,
RV.
are you going to work with us or are you not going to work with us?
Trust me, I wanna work with you.
Okay, so we have a clear path
I actually am only
forward.
here for 90 days while my husband goes and gets a job. What am I doing this for?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Okay, this
And Heather
meeting
can
is
have my
adjourned.
2 acres